Hello, everybody. I am Heidi Hill, licensed professional counselor for the state of Arizona and owner of White Stag Wellness. Before I get started with today's topic, if you have not done so already and you're interested in my video content, please hit subscribe so that you know when I post new videos. I plan to have at least one up every week, and we're focusing on mental health in general, coping skills, self-care, and general support. So please hit subscribe and let's get started. So today I am coming to you with an idea that I often start with my clients, and it's in the general topic of mindfulness, which if you've worked with me or know me at all, you know that's something that I am big on because it works. We have to be aware of ourselves and what's going on before we can do anything else, right? That's step one, is awareness. So more mindfulness videos to come. But on that topic, what we're talking about today specifically is about being able to practice that actual skill, to get into the habit. So, okay, now I know what mindfulness is. How do I get started, right? Because like any practice, it's a practice. So I really encourage you guys to think of it like yoga or some other skill training or muscle training or playing the piano or anything else that you have to really practice to cultivate. It's uncomfortable in the beginning. It's absolutely the same kind of feeling. With repetition, you build the muscle memory. Brain is exactly the same way, and then it gets easier and easier, quicker and more effective. Okay, so today we're focusing on how to start building some awareness throughout your day. The reason I thought of this today is because one of the most frequent things that I hear as a therapist, and I could put this in the context of absolutely any situation or any emotion. I'm going to use anger just for an example. Is, oh, Heidi, no. That's not me. That's other people, but that's not me. My feeling goes from 0 to 60. There is no warning. There is no in between. It's just bam, it's right there. Okay. I can promise you from my experience, a lot of us feel that way. Like, I'm not going to use all or nothing, but I kind of want to say, like, most of us start with this belief that I have no warning. There's no gauge. It's just bam. Okay. Once we start cultivating awareness to ourselves, we realize that this is a yes and no answer. The reason it feels this way and that this is our experience is because we're already starting out with our cup so full that it really doesn't take much to create overwhelm, and we're just spilling over and we are reactive because we're already up here. Okay, so practicing awareness throughout the day is going to help us not only gain awareness of where our gauge is at, but it's going to help us decrease our level of overwhelm. And in that thought, I want you guys to substitute overwhelm with whatever it is that you're trying to manage better. Okay, so that could be anger, that could be depression, that could be anxiety, that could be panic, that could be absolutely whatever it is on your personal scale. Okay, so something I do with my clients is I walk them through creating a very specific and customized gauge. So we go from 0 to 10 on what does this look like at its worst for you? What would be ideal and what is nothing, okay? And once we have that established, then we can start intentionally checking in with self and saying, where am I at on my gauge right now? And from there, I can take action steps to bring myself down, to feel more in control, to self-soothe, whatever the thing is. There are so many skills in what I'm talking about. This really is a process, but I believe in just hearing this, you can get a huge head start. So it starts with some awareness of what is it that I'm trying to manage and what does it look like at its worst? And then we need to back up and say, where am I at in this moment? And how do I know? Okay. How do I know that I'm at a 5 right now versus a 6? I know what a 10 looks like or could look like, right? But how do I know? And going through each number very specifically. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I love making these customized gauges with people because they are so empowering. You can find an immediate sense of validation and control just by becoming aware of what's really going on. So cultivating this awareness, what are we looking at? What are we looking for? How do I make it better? What makes it worse? These are the nuts and bolts of this kind of conversation, okay? So if we're talking about anger, for example, I'm gonna know what that looks like on my scale. I know what it is at its worst. I know where I'm at in this moment, and I know why. And so now I'm going to get in a practice of checking in with myself and saying, where am I at on my scale right now? And we want to do this proactively, okay? Like a wellness plan, a crisis prevention plan. For me, creating this gauge is something that I started using as a way to be proactive, to empower people, because that feels a lot better. It's a lot more effective, and it's actually easily done with practice and knowing how to do it. So we've got our scale. We're going to create some sort of system throughout the day. Do what works for you. That's the bottom line, okay? Doesn't have to be all day, every day. Doesn't have to even be 5 times a day, 3 times a day. If you can do once a day, that's a really good start. So you might want to say, okay, before I go to bed every night, I'm going to do my check-in, or right when I wake up. Or it can be helpful to build habits onto habits you already have, right? So sleep and wake times are generally good. Or you could do it around meal times to check in. Generally speaking, if we are right in the very beginnings of trying to cultivate mindfulness, it's good to have some structure in place to set us up for success. So I would choose a specific time of day that you are going to commit to this, something realistic for you, and do it at least 1 time a day. 3 is better, the more the better, but at least once a day. Check in, see where you're at, and ask myself, what can I do to support myself in this moment? Where am I at, and what do I need? Okay, so in this process, this is usually something I would do with someone over 1 to 2 sessions, because there's a lot of information in what I just described in the last 8 minutes. But I do truly believe if you got a head start on your own and started asking yourself these questions, reflecting on it, and committed to just practicing awareness of yourself, you would feel a pretty quick result. Let me know if you want to know more about this. You can email me at whitestagwellness@gmail.com. My website is Whitestag Wellness. So please take a look at my other videos and let me know what you'd like to see next.